three or your top three things that you want the new incoming NDC administration to do for sports. Nathan, let me start off with you.
Okay. Shout out to everybody.
Big shout outs to our YouTube community, Citi Sports GHA. For those of you who can't get to your radio sets, you can get to YouTube right about now. We are streaming live. We'll have the full video there and also on Spotify when we are done. Thank you.
So, number one is the completion of the youth resource centers. Number one is the completion of the youth resource centers. I want the new administration
within 6 months, it must be done.
I want the new administration to have a look at those resource centers. The previous or the outgoing sports minister said they were at various levels of completion, meaning that we are not at zero. We are not at zero.
No. Almost 85, some are 85%.
Brilliant. So which means that there's not a lot of work left on the table. So the first thing the new admin can do is finish off those resource centers, because they will provide us with facilities all around. Not only finish them off, but hand them over to competent people. So whilst these ones are being completed, we expect, or I expect, the new administration to look into the NSA and make sure that they get the right people at the NSA to handle these facilities. So that is the first thing. The second thing, I want the new administration not to be detached from football and not only show up when there's money to be given. Because over the years, that's what happened. The sports ministry is there, or the government is there to only give money. Money for coaches, money for per diems, money to travel, right? And money to allow people's vacation dreams to happen. No. The new administration should be very interested in football. The GFA may tell you all kinds of stories. Don't believe them. Be very interested in what they do, especially how they handle the national team. Be extremely interested. Do not sit on the fence or stay away when the FA is contemplating on who becomes another Black Stars coach later down the line, because I really don't expect Otto to stay for too long. So be very interested in who becomes the next Black Stars coach. If the FA forms a committee, get a government person there. If the GFA says we want to form a committee to search for a Black Stars coach, get a government person there. A government person who knows a thing or two about coaching. It may not necessarily be a high-ranking politician, but make sure somebody from the ministry who is well-versed in coaching is part. So that in the end, we don't go and choose a coach whose credentials will be blown out of proportion, whose legendary status will be painted, and by the time we put him on a touchline to handle the Black Stars, it is a disaster. No way. So the people who listen to us, and I know a lot of the members of the incoming admin do, please be very interested in Ghana football. Be very interested in the GFA's activities. Be very interested when they want to go somewhere with the national team. Open your eyes and look at what they do. Supervise. Make inputs. Insist on being an active part. And if they want to select a coach, don't let them put together some search committee made up of accountants, lawyers, money people, investment. No way. Be interested in who is chosen to make a decision on the Black Stars head coach. You can have professionals who will look at certain things, but make sure the government is represented on a committee that is going to sit and choose.
Is this point 1 or 2?
This is point 2.
Point 2.
So point 1, youth resource centers. Finish them. Point 2, be very interested. Point 3, this is an extension of point 2, but I'll try and make it independent. Government, be hands-on when it comes to the local league. Jump in and make an input. If it means getting GTV to show some of the games, do it. Because you see, where this game is now, the only way you can get more people to go and watch is if it's accessible. You understand? The access doesn't only mean that put it on any platform, any Apotoyiwa platform, then you throw it on there. You can't even watch coverage. The feed is bad. Data runs out halfway through the. What kind of nonsense is that? We don't want that.
Has that happened before?
Oh, I was watching Heart of Lions and Heart of Oak. In the second half, after 60 minutes, the thing went off. It went off. And then when it came back, it's as if we were watching the video in 240p.
144.
Oh, 144.
Man.
They were like ghosts on my screen. So now when Heart of Lions scored, I was trying to find, hey, they said Lions have scored. I can't see the goal.
Just a few cameras at the venue.
Fair
and
game,
it's
fair
placed
game.
at one
So,
side. So
please,
when the ball
that-
is swung towards the other side, you can't see the ball. Yeah.
Charlie, what is
So
all
the
this?
new admin, please be interested in the local league. Make a case for it to be on accessible television. GTV has got great equipment. So if you get them involved, the coverage will be good. Meaning that more people will see that, oh, there's Ghana Premier League. Let me watch it once, twice on television. So for me, that is what I will say. Youth resource centers,
Yep.
be involved in the workings of the GFA vis-a-vis the national team, and be involved in the workings of the local league. Don't sit down and say, oh, when they bring us the budget, we sign off. No way. There are young, vibrant people in the new admin who like their football, and I know they are listening. So they should be very interested. Even some of the older ones, we know how some of them love their football. They should be interested. But you see, the interest should go beyond, oh, I like football.
Yeah.
Be interested in seeing it work. The last point I'll make, I know they said 3, but this one is an additional point. The MPs who will be going into the house, I don't know who the new speaker will be, but the MPs should ensure that the new select committee on sports, culture, and whatever in parliament should not be made up of people who know next to nothing about the game.
Resetting.
Then that place needs a proper reset. We don't want when we finish, you interview them, basa. They bring FA, the sports minister, they come to dazzle them with a few dance moves and they are happy, and you let them off. No way. No way. So the new parliament, check who makes up the parliamentary select committee on sports. You see, because they can apply pressure for things to work. They are the ones who can apply pressure for things to work. They should not be interested in traveling to go and watch Black Stars games. That is not their mandate. Their mandate is to ask the hard questions and get proper policy to be passed so that sports will grow in this country. We cannot go another 4 years of mediocre results. No way. We cannot. So that is where I'll end my sermon.
Okay, let me read a few messages and I'll take y'all's thoughts. Let's start from the top. Lambert from Dodoa said, good evening, Ben and team. All I want President John Mahama to do for me is to make Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy a sports minister and I'll be fine. He will reset the FA and sanitize the system. Austin from Ashaiman says, number 1, sack Otoado. Number 2, look into the money spent on the All-African Games. Number 3, let the outgoing sports minister show us the budget for the previous AFCONs. Mapong. Okay. Prince Leon from Chile says it's very simple. Sack everybody at the FA and the Ghana Olympic Committee. Revamp our leagues even to the grassroots. Be transparent in all financial dealings. Titin Tefre, he puts into parenthesis ancient cockroach from Adenta. He says, is Otoado still at post? Please ask coach for me. Our super fantastic coach Enzo is doing some magic at Chelsea. We are Chelsea.
Mama should do it.
No, he didn't say Mama should go and do Chelsea. No,
He say we are bouncing back with full force. Regards to Sheikh Niaba and her team. Okay, cool. More messages to come through. Yao, what do you want the incoming admin to do for sports? Top 3, let's go.
Top 3, yes. Be chiseled with the money to the GFA when it comes to the Black Stars. Yeah. Be a miser, more or less. Because if you have the one who has the paying power has the power, or the spending power is the one who has the power. And so when you have a situation where $3 million is spent on an AFCON campaign that was played just next door in Cote d'Ivoire, and we got eliminated at the group stage, how is it possible that you spent $3 million on such a campaign that also included camping in Ghana. It just doesn't make sense.
Yep, and it's unaccounted for still.
Yes, it just doesn't make sense. So you are the one who paid that money. It's the government. It's not the GFA.
Yep.
It's the government that paid that money. And because more or less government has been reckless with this expenditure, it has allowed the GFA to act the way it has been acting over the years. Because the Black Stars is a product of the state. The caretaker of the Black Stars and other national teams is the GFA. How is it that your child goes to school, consistently fails the exams, you consistently reward that child with everything that he or she wants, you go to the school and you don't have any problem with the teacher? You get it? Both parties must be involved. So you are the one who is paying. So ensure that the child acts right through the teacher. Or you can even go direct. But by going direct, yeah, you might be stepping on a few toes. You might be, getting close to overstepping your boundaries. So you get the child to act right through the teacher. And the teacher or the guardian or custodian right now is the GFA. And you can get them to be disciplined, get them to fall in line.
So this is point one.
This is point one. Point two. Under the promise that has been made about the sports university, sports university, that's Boteman.
They are playing politics with that thing. So just to put it in perspective, what you're saying, the government did say that after the Boteman Stadium or sports complex was completed, it would be handed or it would be converted into a sports university. Yes. So I don't know if it was supposed to be affiliated to Legon or something, or if it was supposed to be
Legon, no
if
problem.
it was going to be standalone, but we knew we were supposed to be getting some kind of sports educational facility that was going to put it in regular use.
Yes, and I'm touching on this because of coaching. We need to produce more coaches, and with this, I'm also referring to the one at UEW, the National Sports College. It needs to be upgraded so that we can produce more coaches. So you can focus that on, let's say, football. Then you can use the Boteman Sports Complex because it has multiple sports facilities for multiple sports disciplines. You can use that as a facility to train coaches in other sports: netball, basketball, table tennis, swimming. That's point number 2. Then point number 3, you look at the talent base. We need to ensure, and this will come in hand with the Ministry of Education. So Ministry of Education, Ministry of Youth and Sports, all fall in line. Try as much as possible to ensure a proper working, sustainable sports scholarship system, where, because let's face facts, our resources are quite limited. We create a situation where the conveyor belt, the way it has been established for football, the same can be done for athletes in other sports, particularly in boxing, particularly in athletics. That the outstanding athletes should have no problem getting scholarships to move outside the country where they can train better, upgrade themselves on an education side, and once they are done, or once they get themselves out of that American college system or cycle, there is enough funds to take care of them, because we've seen it way too many times where our athletes outside Ghana, particularly those in America, once they leave the college system and they don't have that luxury of getting that support from that particular university or college, end up struggling. Some are driving, some are Uber drivers and all that. They are doing all kinds of odd jobs.
Hey.
And how do you expect
Uber
them?
drivers?
Yes. And how do you expect them
You're
to?
an Uber driver, you thank your God.
Yes. And how do you expect them to all of a sudden turn things around within 4 months, train and get themselves in shape and in top form to be able to compete
with
against
the best
of the best? So there needs to be a way of ensuring that our athletes who end up outside Ghana are well taken care of. So number 1, you deal with the money. Number 2, you deal with the coaching. Number 3, you deal with the athletes. And that's what I expect from this John Mahama government when it comes to sports. Yeah, if I want to be a little bit personal or a little bit picky, maybe a little bit vindictive, then you need to do a proper review of that Africa Games expenditure. You really need to do a proper review of that Africa Games expenditure because
and ask a few questions.
Yes, because content creator, YouTube content creator, Mr. Beast, he got $14 million and they built a whole city.
I saw it.
The Beast Games. A whole city with $14 million. A whole city.
I say Ghanaians have devalued
a whole city.
What you can do with Uncle Sam's money. I'm telling you.
$14 million. They built a whole city for Mr. Beast Games.
Yep.
And we had $15 million.
Fed people.
And it was used for feeding athletes.
When they say that you don't know what went into the feeding.
I've spoken my piece.